Hey everybody, this is Paul Kona. The first thing I kind of wanted to talk about here, and this is important, obviously, is that I wanted to talk about everything to do with the Doodle Maker white label upgrade, right? So the people who are invited to this webinar are white label license holders. So this is a special training only for you. So pat yourself on the back for being part of it. And a couple of things that I wanted to mention here is that as a part of it, you are allowed to start selling the Doodle Maker application as your own with your branding and so on starting today, which is the reason why we have this masterclass to help you out, to train you and so on. There are going to be two components for this, okay? And I'm going to help you out with both the components so that, it makes your life easier, obviously. And so let me actually, write it down here as well. So those two components will make a lot of sense to you as well as we are here live, okay? So first component will be all about the setup, okay? So I'm going to be going in and I'm going to show you exactly how to get set up with the white label upgrade. What are your things that you need to do and so on, okay? The first part is a setup, okay? I'm going to walk you through the setup process, and the second part will be the traffic part. Okay, now you got the whole process set up, you got a website set up. Let's say you're taking orders in. How do you get traffic, okay? Especially if you want to get free traffic, how do you get it? And also I want to talk about some ongoing training and some other cool stuff as well. So those will be the two key components, okay? That's the reason why I was saying if you wanted to watch this later on as well, some of the things, maybe the setup you might want to watch a couple of times more, or the traffic element you want to watch a couple of times more. Regardless, whatever the goal is, we want to do that, okay? So now, the first things first, okay? We'll go step by step here today so as not to confuse you too much, obviously. So the setup part, okay? Now, when you go into Doodle Maker application, so doodlemakerapp.com, and then you go in and then you log in to the Doodle Maker app, then what's gonna happen, okay? And you logged in, okay? So you log in, you're gonna see a screen that looks something like this, okay? All right, so check this out. You all see my screen, right? So in that screen, to your left, you're gonna see this option right here, okay? It's called white label. And that is basically what you should be paying attention to. And that's what we're gonna be talking about today, okay? Fair enough? So everybody clear so far, right? So I want you to open up the Doodle Maker application and go to this section, the white label section. Okay, now, before we get to that section, one important thing I wanted to mention though is the My Purchases tab, okay? So basically, in the My Purchases tab, you'll have all the purchases that you made that you get immediate and instant access to. So what I mean by that is, let's walk through this process, okay? So that we get some clarity, okay? So as you know, we had two plans, right? One was the unlimited plan, which is this plan that I wanted to show you here. So this white label enterprise plan is the one which is unlimited, right? So this one was the unlimited one, okay, which we're going to remove anyways very soon. All right, so this is the unlimited one. And then this one, okay, and I'm going to color code it differently so you folks can understand what I'm talking about. So this one to your above it, okay, this one is the 50 user account one, right? So 50. So that one was the 50 user account one. So now, basically, there are two differences between both of them. And I want to talk about that because that will completely rely on how your setup process will also work out today, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is when you go to your My Purchases, let's say you purchased the 50 user accounts one, you're going to see this option, okay? Which is, if you see carefully here, study me here, okay? This part I already have access to, so I'll go to the access button here. If I click the access button here, I'll go to a different link than if I click the access button here, okay? So if you purchase this one, right, you're gonna have a different page that you're gonna land into. Now, why is that the case? So let me walk you through the main differences, then it'll make your life easier as well, so that I do it for the purpose of both, so that we get clarity, right? So the main difference is, obviously, other than the fact that one is 50 accounts and one is unlimited, is the fact that there's a couple other main differences, okay? And we'll talk about that as we go right now, and I'll walk you through this step by step. So the main part of this equation is that, you probably know this already, but I'll cover this anyway. So the main thing is that if you see carefully here, other than that 50 user accounts for this one, the other major difference that you will probably notice is these key elements, okay? And one of the elements, as you can see here, is this one right here. For the for the unlimited accounts, you have the unlimited white label sub accounts, obviously. The other one is this, okay? You see that drag and drop website builder with hosting. to edit your own website and so on. So today I'll talk about the website with you, okay? How that website looks like, how do you install it, and all that good stuff. I'll also talk about how to set up your actual, white label sub accounts and all that stuff. And then I'll also talk about how you can utilize this unlimited hosting and so on. Now, for those of you who got this 50 user sub accounts, we're still going to give you the reseller website, but you're not going to have the web hosting included, because as you can understand, web hosting for something like this costs us a lot of money. And so because of the fact that I'm going to give you a website, there's a process involved, and I'm going to walk you through that process as well on how to set it up in your own web hosting or somewhere else and so on. Okay, so that way with this one, hosting is included, but this one it's not. You got to move it to somewhere else in your hosting. Clear? Okay, type in yes in chat box if everything is clear so far. So that means the setup is quite different for both of them, right? So one of them is more automated here, right? This one will be more auto, right? And this one will be a little bit more manual. It's just the way it is, okay? Okay, so manual. Okay, so I'll put manual here so you can clearly see. Okay, right? So that one is auto, one is manual. So that's the reason why I was telling you the links will go to two different pages depending on what plan that you purchased, okay? So that then whatever I'm trying to explain to you will make a lot more sense, okay? Now, one important thing I'm going to see now, and then that's a big thing I wanted to get out of the way right away before we get to the training part of the equation. And this is important because I don't want a situation where a lot of people are asking me this question, and then I go into the training for like the next few 30 minutes and so on, and then a lot of people miss out on this. So the big question is, okay, so I have the $97 plan. Can I upgrade to the unlimited plan right now? Is there a possibility, and is that an option at all for me at this point? Because I did pay in 97 bucks, right, Paul? So how does that work? So basically, just a couple of things real quick that I want to mention here to clear this out. So if you went in, right, and I want to show you this part here, which is very clear. So we gave away special discount during the early bird launch special, which is the secret coupon code, right? With that, we knocked off 100 bucks off, which made this into a $397 price point, right? $397. So what we are doing right now, just for this webinar, and I'll tell you the reason why for this as well, so it's pretty clear and upfront, is we're offering the ability for folks who are in this $97 plan to upgrade it for that cost, right? Literally for that exact same cost. What I need you to do though, and I'm going to post the link in the chat box as well to your right, is to go to this link and bookmark that page, okay? You don't have to get it right away, but make sure that you bookmark this page, because that page is going to be removed in the next 24 hours or so, okay? That's the doodlemaker.io/whitelabel. What that does, that's not for people who got all the unlimited license. That's not for you. It's for those people who got the $97 plan who want to upgrade it, because I'll tell you why. We are removing this link, okay? Right away after this, in the next maybe 24 hours or so, because as I think we mentioned this already throughout the launch that we're going to remove it, and we already removed it, but I just want to give you an opportunity, because I don't want a situation where a month from now or 3 weeks from now you guys ask us, hey, can you please upgrade me over there and so on, and it's not going to be possible at that point, okay? Because we had a limited amount of people who want to get into this, and in the future, if somebody wants to get in, they'll have to pay a huge amount of money, maybe a monthly fee of like $200 a month or something like that, 199 bucks a month or something, to get access to it, okay? So when you go there, I'll show you real quick how that looks like, and then we'll go into the training section so that I can get this out of the way, because it's something that a lot of people might be asking, and a lot of people are emailing our support team as well. So I wanted to get this out of the way. So you're going to land in a page that looks something like this. So I want you to make sure that it's going to be 300 bucks, and you're getting it at cost, right? You're not getting charged more or whatever. But this is the only time we're probably going to offer this for that particular price point. And I'm only doing it because so many people are messaging out of fairness to you and all that. So that's the link. Okay. Now again, as I said, bookmark it. Whether you buy it or not, it doesn't matter. If you want to upgrade that and you feel value in it and so on, please do get it, because we're going to remove that unlimited account access as promised before the launch went live itself. We're going to remove it definitely. There's no question about it, 100%. It's just not sustainable for us long term. We want a limited amount of people, yes, right? But not everybody. It's just not possible, okay? So first things, is that clear so far, okay? So I posted the link in the chat box. Go there and bookmark it. And again, I'm not really even selling it. It doesn't matter to me whether you get in or not. The main thing though is, if you come back to us 2 or 3 weeks from now, it's not going to be available. I'm just laying my cards out here simply because it's something that we wanted to remove after the launch anyways. We planned out, but I didn't want a situation where everybody goes to the training and they're like, oh, you did show this training, unlimited accounts, Paul. Is that still available and so on? Well, it won't be available later on. Okay, so we're going to edit that out, later on. in the replay and so on. Okay, so now the first thing I wanted to mention here in the section, now we got that clarity, right? So the 50 user accounts, the major difference is 50 accounts. The other one is you don't get web hosting included. You do get I'll explain how that works. You're gonna get a website, but you gotta put it into your own web hosting and gotta figure it out. I'll show you a process on how to do that as well manually. Don't worry. And then if you're in the white label enterprise, it's automated completely, and I'll explain that process as well. Okay. So the first thing that I want you to do for both of you folks, okay, regardless of what you got, I want you to make sure that you click on this button right here, okay, access button, and be on that page right now, all right? Or refresh that page if you're already there, because we're constantly updating that one. So click on those two, right? If you bought the 51, it's gonna say access to that one. If you bought the obviously unlimited, it's gonna show access to that one, okay? Now I know you guys have some questions and so on. I'll answer them throughout the webinar when we get there. Don't worry, because the idea is that we go through each step of the way, and I'm gonna be answering your questions anyway along the way. Now, let's get to the other part. Okay, now you landed on that page. What happens next? So this is what I need you to pay close attention to, okay? So first things first, you got to understand the white label. What does it really do? You got to understand what it does, right? So the white label upgrade allows you to sell the application with your own logo and be able to, sell it to clients, right? So now let's talk about the process involved here, how this would work, and I'll kind of map it out to you so that it'll give you a better idea on how you can pretty much do it yourself as well. And then it'll give you in the back of your mind how to do this process yourself. Okay, fair enough. So that way, so the basic idea is very simple. Okay, first of all, you are going to get in the application ability to create sub accounts, right? So sub accounts. Okay, so this means that you can create accounts for users and so on and so forth. So that will be in the Doodle Maker dashboard. Okay, I'll put DM dashboard board. Okay, so meaning that I'll be in the app itself, right? Now the next thing, once you create these sub accounts, right, we have to basically go backwards here. So that's the reason why I like to do this kind of methodology. So it'll help you out. So now here, this is the sub account. You're starting off this. This is how you give the login and so on. But first, you gotta get a website made to be able to send traffic and book orders, right? So then you have a website here. Okay, so you have a website, all right, which I'm going to show you how to set up, by the way. Don't worry, it's all done. So you have a website, and then in the website, the small section that I want to do here is you gotta have buy buttons and all that stuff, right? So you have a buy button to accept payments via PayPal and Stripe or whatever, right? Buy buttons, okay? Buy buttons, and then we put it on in that website. So this part is pretty standard, nothing really fancy. Now, so somebody comes to your website, somebody buys something, but for that to occur, right? Again, I'm gonna move this over. Hopefully it'll work. We'll move that here again. Well, what do you need first before that, right? Well, you need traffic, right? So again, that's another thing that I'm gonna be talking about as well today. So that we can go through that part of the process as well. So then you gotta get traffic. Preferably free traffic would be nice, right? So free traffic or pay traffic, whatever. You get traffic. So the idea is very simple. You get traffic, you push it to this website. I'm gonna show you that website, how to set it up and so on. And then you have the buy buttons in that website. When somebody buys and so on, then you go and you create the sub accounts, okay? Pretty straightforward process, right? And then that's the 3 steps, literally. So what I'm gonna do first, ironically, because I have to show you that in this format, so it'll make the most sense to you on how the whole process would work, is you would do this process first, because you got to set up your brand first in the application, right? So this would be your first step, okay? Meaning you set up your brand in the Doodle Maker application. So let's do that part first, okay? Let's go in and set up a brand of our own, our logo, and so on and so forth, okay? So that we can do it right the first time around without having to have any confusion or any of that mumbo jumbo stuff, okay? So the first thing that we need to do, if you have obviously the access to the white label thing, is you go into this option right here, which is the white label option here, as you can see. Then we click on that, okay? You see I have a brand already built, okay? So let me explain how this one works, okay? So you get an idea. So all you have to do when you're getting started, okay, which is important, right? And this is important. You need to click on this option right here, okay? So watch this option. So you see this plus button, that's the plus button. You click and you have to get underway right now, okay? All right, So here, when you click on the plus button, and by the way, if you have any customer support stuff, don't worry. I'll walk you through this. You can watch this replay later on. I'll if you have any customer support related questions, don't worry. I'm looking at all your comments and so on, and we'll get to that as we go along. But the key thing is to follow along, right, with what I'm showing you right now. So the main thing is you hit that plus button, and then you create a brand of yours, okay? So meaning, what would be the brand name, right? So for example, if your brand name is going to be something along the lines of, let's say, I don't know, whiteboard videos or something like that. I don't know, up to you, right? And then whiteboard video creator or something like that. And then you have a brand description. What is it? Okay, you can say create professional whiteboard, blackboard, and glassboard videos. Okay, fair enough. So now here is the support URL and email. So here I want you to give your email address in. Now, why is that the case? Because you're taking the payment. There should be a email people can contact if they have some issues, if they have something else. Of course, if there's any technical related stuff in the application, we'll happily help you out. But the major thing here, though, is somebody's paying you money, ensure that you're the point of contact, so that any order issues that end customer might have from you and so on, you can solve it for them. So here's where you would put your support email, okay? I'll just put something for the time being, okay? I'll just put my ID here and then click on validate. Okay, now here is a brand logo. So here you can put any logo of your choice. So you can get a logo made. There's a tons of free logo creation applications out there. Like you can go into, and we even gave away one of them as well, obviously. So the easiest one is the one from Namecheap. So you go to Google and you type in Namecheap. Let me do that. So Namecheap logo maker. You go click on that one. There's this one, right? Namecheap logo maker. And this is the one, right? I use this all the time. Pretty easy. Create your logo. You go in next, and then it asks you for a company name, and it automatically creates your logos for you. If this is something you like, it's free. It's pretty powerful, and I use it all the time. So you can use this to create your logo as well. Okay. Now, if you already have, I'm going to assume right now in this particular step of the equation, I'm going to assume that you already have a logo made, right? So if you do have it, I'm going to put a generic one for your purposes as well right now, so that you all can follow along with me here. So the main thing, okay, is very, very, very powerful, which is if you can have a logo, one thing that you got to do with logo creation specifically is just drop it into the drag and drop section here, okay? So I'm gonna put a dummy logo like your logo here. So what I wanna have you pay attention to is this part, okay? Very important, this part right here. So you see this part right here, it says login URL, right? You see that login URL? So that's a generic domain name that we are giving you. So this will be the login that you would send to your users, okay? Very important that you need to understand. This is not going to be doodlemaker.com. It's not going to have any references back to Doodlemaker. It's a completely white label domain name. So you're sending this login URL to your end customer, and they'll have no reference point that it's Doodlemaker and so on after you obviously got the payment and so on. And at any point you want to edit anything, you can go and edit this part right here. You can change the logo back again and do all this kind of customizations that you want to do later on. Okay, so that's the key component so far. All right, so now the next thing, obviously, is once you get people to pay you and buy you, you click on the users tab to your right, okay? So let's imagine, let's say I purchased from you, right? So then you would go in and you would create a username. So let's create that. Let's say, assuming I purchased from you, let's say what happens. Click on the users, right? And then what happens is you come into a page that looks like this. So here is where you put the name and email of that person, okay? Because obviously it's gonna have a password, and then that's the login URL, right? So for example, if it is Paul, right? Paul has purchased from you, and then what you're going to do is, let's say Paul's email, right? Let's just put some email of Paul's here, for example, right? And let's see here. Let's see if I can put one of them here. All right. So if you put one of my emails, click add user. Okay, I already have a user set up here. So let's create another user account that is not in my system here. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's put one of them, which is probably not in the system so far. All right, so let's do that right now. Let me get my other. All right. All right, so this is one of my other accounts right now. So let's try that one. And then once you click on it, it should load up. Okay, so there you go. It's loaded up. Obviously, I'm going to delete this user, obviously, but you see how it says the login URL and login email. So remember that error I got? That's why I wanted to show you that in real time so you can see it. If a user already exists, okay, meaning you already created a username before, or that person purchased multiple times by duplicate purchase, it's going to give an error. That's how you know that that already exists in your portfolio of users, okay? So that's the reason why. So here, it gives me the login URL, gives me the login email, and then also one-time password. Okay, this password, as soon as they log in, they're asked to reset it afterwards. Okay, fair enough. So up until this point, everything is clear, right? So now this is what I would copy and paste and send it over to a person who purchased from me. Very simple, not very complicated. I say, hey, thank you for purchasing. Here's your login. Here you go. And then you can reset your password later on. Okay. So this screen is the most important screen in a sense, right? So click OK, and then you have all the details here. So the user, because of privacy reasons and so on, they can go in, they can use that one-time login and password, and then they can reset the password and so on and so forth. It has full control. You don't have any privacy concerns are the big thing, so you're never gonna get access to their password and so on. Now, later on, let's say that user is problematic and so on, you can click this delete button and you can delete it. Okay, you see that little delete box right there. You can delete it right away. So each user can have a different account as well, like so, okay? So based on how much they're getting. So as I said, depending on which account you got, so the, obviously the 50 user account means that you have 50 users, so you can have like so. Unlimited would be unlimited, obviously. So pretty straightforward so far, okay? Now let's go back to the drawing that I have here. So until this point, everything is clear, right? So how we created sub accounts and everything. So I showed you exactly how to do this process and so on and so forth, correct? We're pretty clear until this point, I'm assuming, okay? All right, so then let's put a little checkbox here. We did this little part right here, okay? That's the first step. Now, that's all it really is, to use the sub accounts. Everything else is managed by us behind the scenes, the video rendering, video creation, the actual account and everything else. Now, how does that look like exactly once people are logging in? So let me show you the exact setup of how it looks like once somebody logs in, okay? So that it gives you an idea, how a real account looks like, okay? So I have one dummy account here, so I will probably use that one as a demo account here for you folks to use, I guess. So, all right, so what will happen is a user will log in, okay? So I will show you this right now, this process, so you guys can follow along, okay? So you see how here in the top, when user is trying to log in, everything is rebranded. You see that? There's no Doodle Maker references here. Doodle Maker references are not there even in the URL at the top. And then this logo, you see, this logo can be any logo, okay? For the timing, I just put logo not provided on purpose, so I can show you that your logo goes here, okay? And then once you're trying to log in, right? So let's pretty much try to log in here real quick, and I'll show you how your end user will see the application. Okay, not you, the end user, meaning the person who purchases from you. Okay, so let me show you. So let me log in real quick, and then let's click sign in here. All right. So this is how they will see. You see how we have a bunch of customer training tutorials and everything else, and here is where your logo would go. You see that part on the top right here. And then, okay, this is cool. They can get started, create a project, and as usual, okay? So that's how simple it is. That's how straightforward it is and so on. And the support email and so on that you put in will be in the bottom as well, right, for yours. So they can contact you and then you can relay it back to us if it's some technical in nature or something. So everything else is pretty clear cut, right? So now give me a yes in the chat box if so far you understood how the sub account process works, how your end user sees it, and more importantly, how you can get up and running pretty easy, right? How the creation process works, okay? Cool, everything is clear, all right? Perfect, awesome. Now let's go to this part of the equation, the second part, okay? Let's talk about that, the website element here, okay? Now, to be very, very clear, let's talk about the website in 2 steps, okay? So that we can, you can walk through it in 2 different ways, okay? The first thing that I kind of wanted to talk about here is the website itself, how it looks like, okay? Then I'm going to talk about how to set up the website, obviously, right? So then, you get an idea of how that would work as well in a real life scenario. All right, so first of all, let me show you how the website looks like. Then I'll also show you how the sales video looks like and all that stuff, because we've done it in a beautiful way. So again, everything is customizable, by the way, okay? So you don't have to do much on your end. Basically, everything else is pretty much done. All right, so this is how it looks like, okay? This is how your website will look like, okay? Yeah, you were saying something, Yash?
No, I'm just gonna say like I'm here.
Yeah,
Yes, yep.
perfect. Okay. All right. So yeah, so basically this is how the website will look like. All right. So you see that all the design elements and so on we've even brought in the demo videos as well and what kind of videos people can create with it. And of course, every element is editable. I'll show you that part in just a bit. Scroll down, all this good stuff, right? And then you see this part right here. Okay. This part right here. I want to show you here. So this right here, this button right here is what you got to edit, okay? So you put in your Stripe or PayPal or whatever payment processor you want to use. There are tons of them. I mean, there are even ones which you don't even need to have your own PayPal account or Stripe account. There are a bunch of them you can use as well, like gumroad.com, and there's tons of them, right? You get the idea. There's tons of them. Maybe we can go through those other payment options later on. But the idea is, simply speaking, this is the website, and everything is pretty much done, right? You just change a few things, change a button and so on. You change this logo on the top, obviously, right? To make it your own. And this is the sales video. Now, instead of playing the sales video and showing you, I wanted to actually show you specifically how it looks like in real time, so you folks can actually enjoy it, hopefully, okay? So let me see if I can do this, okay? Just give me 1 second here. If I can actually see if I can do this part. Let's see if they allow me to do it, because they keep changing the dashboard all the time. All right, so sharing, let's see. Yeah, okay, cool, I got it. All right, so this is how the sales video looks like. Okay, I'll play it.
Creating attention-grabbing doodle videos to get more traffic, leads, and sales is now easy and effortless. Produce amazing whiteboard, blackboard, glassboard, or video with any background within minutes, without any technical experience or skills. Want to make videos in a foreign language? No problem. Use our built-in text-to-speech engine to create videos in over 60 languages with 160 male and female natural-sounding voices. You can even convert any video with voice into a doodle video within seconds. Our built-in artificial intelligence automates the video creation process by automatically scanning your text, finding relevant doodle images, and producing beautiful doodle slides without any manual effort. Create videos for all marketing needs, including video sales letters, video ads, educational videos, presentations, logo openers, and more. Use this to produce dynamic and engaging doodle videos for lead generation, e-commerce, branding, traffic campaigns, product creation, social media, affiliate marketing, and any other goal. You can create unlimited color or black and white doodle videos using the 300+ ready-made template, or build from scratch for custom videos. Due to the incredible demand, we can't keep it at this special price for long. The price will increase without notice. Click on the button below to grab your copy now. You are going to be blown away from all the next-generation features packed into this Doodle Video Maker app. Don't miss out on the special price. Grab your copy now before the price increases.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, because of GoToWebinar, some of you folks could not have heard the audio part of it. I mean, it's just the way it is when you're trying to play with their technology. But anyways, so this is the video, pretty straightforward and so on. Again, it's on YouTube, so you folks can actually go download it and do other things if you want to do it. Run ads with it or whatever you want to do. The main thing, though, that I wanted to mention here, and a couple of people are asking this question, is how do we link up the PayPal account and so on? Don't worry, I'll show you that, because see, I have to go backwards for you to understand the bigger picture, right? Otherwise, you're not going to understand what I'm doing, because I'm just doing a step-by-step training with no purpose to it or no overall picture here, right? So now this is the website, okay? So now let me go back to the key element here of the second step and explain to you how this works for both of the user classes, so to speak, here that we have, right? So let me go back here and let me explain here so that you folks can understand it in more clearer picture, because then when I actually show you, you're not totally lost, okay? So what's gonna happen is you have two different things that are happening here, specific to you, that is very important, and you gotta pay attention to this part because again, it's relevant. So the first thing is you gotta separate this website into two different things, okay? Now, I'll explain why that's the case. So one is we're gonna give you, for those people who got the 97 bucks thing, right? The 50 accounts, if you got that, you got the 97 bucks plan, you're gonna get the backup of it, of this particular website, okay? The backup, because it's a WordPress site. I'll explain to you what I mean by that. And what that means is we include tutorials and everything like that to able to use a plugin to install into your own web host, into another WordPress setup of yours, and your own web host, and so on and so forth. Okay, so then we're gonna say own web host. Okay, pretty straightforward. This is that. Now those other people, all of you other folks who got in with the unlimited account plan, right? This one was that special deal for the unlimited accounts. So for those who got the unlimited plan, okay, the setup is slightly different. Okay, so I'll explain how this one works as well, so we can go through it in a step-by-step fashion. So the unlimited setup is going to be like this. Okay, so you just pick a domain, okay, or you pick a subdomain. Okay, simple. We have a bunch of subdomains as well. I mean, in our own domain name, a generic domain name, and then you pick one of these, you fill in a form, and then in literally a few minutes, okay, to answer this question, in literally a few minutes, you have this set up and done. Okay, and done, meaning in just a few minutes you're done. So there's no need to do your own web hosting backup and everything like that. Now the setup to do this thing is very expensive on our end, because we are actually adding in SSL certificates. We are doing all kinds of other behind the scenes stuff here to make this whole thing automated. Okay, so we have SSL certificates, and we have like some other components like databases and web hosting and domain management and all that stuff, security and all that stuff. You get the idea, right? So instead of you having to pay a monthly fee to a web hosting company, or having somebody else install this whole thing to you and so on and so forth, you have that more automated here. It's just the amount of cost to upkeep this, because you gotta understand, even 3, 4, 5 years from now, you're gonna have that website up, right? So it costs a lot of money for us to manage it. So that's the setup here. Okay, now that this is clear, let me explain to you first of all how it's going to work if it is basically going to be the $97, like basically that backup setup. Okay, first let me talk about that, and then we're going to talk about how the other setup works as well. Okay, so it's very clear and it's clear cut. Okay, so that you're good. So the just to answer that question about is it unlimited, is that cloud hosting? Yes. So the setup basically here, you're not putting in some cheap HostGator and so on. That's why the costs are more expensive, obviously. We're actually putting it into Google. Okay, so your sites are going to be hosted into Google's own cloud hosting, which is an award-winning company, obviously. And Google is the best for these kind of sites, because it also gets you top search engine rankings, right? So that's Google. All right. So this is where it's going to be hosted on the cloud. So it can handle millions of visitors too, no problems. It has an automatic scaling system and all that stuff built in. So don't worry. That's the simple process. Now let's talk about this setup here, okay? Because I wanted to explain how this would work and how you're setting this up and all that simple stuff. Okay. So in the access page, okay, so that's the important thing I want to mention here. In the access page for this setup, okay, in the access page, you're going to see 3 different components. Okay, and I want to talk about all 3 components here, and then for those who got the other one, obviously it's more automated, so it's going to take me 2 minutes to explain this, but so this one, let me explain a little bit so you folks can understand it in more granular detail here. Okay, so the first thing and the most important thing of the equation here is you're going to be having, okay, and this is important, you're going to be having multiple things to do. Okay, so let me go through them one by one here. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to be doing, okay, and this is important, is you're going to be actually downloading the backup. Okay, the backup of the actual file, and that's all the details will be on that access page, by the way, so don't worry if you folks are actually confused with that or whatever. So what I mean by that, where it's located, is if you go back into the Doodle Maker application, under the My Purchases tab, right? Under the My Purchases tab, the instructions will be right there. Okay, so for instance, if I zoom this in slightly, the instructions are right here. So you see this access link here and the access there, so like I showed you earlier on. So that's where the instructions will be for each setup. Okay, but I'll explain to you in just more granular format, because you're going to see more detailed instructions anyways. So what's going to happen is you're going to be having 3 components here. Okay, and I'll explain to you all 3 of them, and it's going to make your life easier as well. And then I'll also show you where you can probably get somebody to install this for you later on as well, if that's something that you are interested in doing down the line as well. Okay, so the simple setup is, okay, there's 3 components, very simple, very easy. The website that I gave you, there's a backup of it. Okay, there is a simple backup of this particular website. Now it's going to be in a zip format. Then there's also going to be a second component of it, which is going to be the actual a plugin that you need to use for WordPress. Okay, that plugin, which is going to be uploaded into your server. Okay, so basically that means that you have two things, right? Just to simplify it, one is you have the backup of the site. Okay, site. Second is you're gonna have the plugin that allows you to basically load a backed up website into another web host. Basically, that's the idea here. And then after that, you follow a tutorial that we have for you, because that tutorial will explain everything simply, super easy for you to follow along with that tutorial. It's gonna look something like this, okay? It's gonna be a Vimeo link, and let me walk you through this. So it's gonna be a Vimeo link like this, right? So let me actually pause it, and it's gonna show you where to go download that plugin and install it, blah, blah, blah. You have all that stuff. And then you can go and do it pretty easy. If you've used WordPress before, it's pretty straightforward. However, if you're stuck, let's say you don't know how to do it, let's say you're still stuck and so on, you can go to Fiverr and you can search for something like this, okay, which is WordPress clone install. Okay, you see how I have WordPress clone install? You click on that in fiverr.com, fiverr.com, WordPress clone install. Then once you do that, you're gonna land on a page that looks something like this. You see how this guy's like, I'm gonna clone a copy, duplicate WordPress website in 2 days. There's another one, I'll clone it, and so on. So with the people doing it from $5 to $20 or so on, pretty straightforward. You can find a ton of them. Like here, you see that I'll secure, install, backup, a clone, migrate it, and so on and so forth. You can find a ton of these guys for $5, $10, $20 or whatever to do this stuff for you. Okay, so it should not be a problem in case you particularly struggle with it. Okay, so that's the basic premise. So the tutorial that I showed you should answer all the questions, which is there, and the page as well. Okay, which is important. The page that you will see, the access page as well, will be showing you all the instructions and how this whole process will work, how you need to do it, and all that stuff, basically. Okay, now let's go back to the other part of the equation. So for the folks who are specifically the unlimited account folks, so this one is more easier, right? Obviously. So this one is super easy. So what you need to do is simple, and I'll show you this process in just a second. So all you need to do is you go in there, and then you just hit the domain name, subdomain, you choose whatever you want, and then the setup is done in just a couple of clicks. So let me explain how this one works as well, so you get an idea in a more, if you will, specific format, if you will, right? So let me explain. I'll show you the actual tutorial for this one rather than that. So then the tutorial will explain to you a little bit better in more, granular, specific detail as well. Okay, so let's see here. All right. Okay, so let me show you my screen here. All right, so this is a tutorial. Pretty easy stuff. You're gonna land on a page that looks like this. You're gonna have two options, right? And the two options are also pretty straightforward. So you're gonna say, look at the first option, as you can see here, all in one. You wanna put like a domain name, so meaning you wanna buy your own domain name that it's gonna be unique to you, and so on and so forth. So let's say whiteboardvideocreator.com, or I don't know, blackboardvideocreator.com, or I don't know, whatever you wanna put. And then you register the domain if that exists. Okay, if that domain exists here, then it's pretty good, it's awesome, and you're good to go to the very next step, which I'm going to walk you through right now. If that domain doesn't exist, it's going to obviously ask you, hey, the domain doesn't exist, are you sure, and so on and so forth, right? Pretty easy, straightforward stuff. And then I'm going to just fast forward this real quick, and if you wanted to go even faster, the faster method will obviously be if you want to use the subdomain method, meaning it's one of our subdomains, which is a more, if you will, faster method, but it's a generic domain and so on and so forth. And then you can put like a subdomain URL with our own domain name, and it's going to ask you for an admin name, and then you just follow along. I'll show you where it is located and all that stuff in just a second. But it's going to ask you for first name, last name, email is important because that's going to be your WordPress admin login, and it's going to ask you for some details like here. You don't have to put your real phone number or whatever, you can put anything, but this is required, by the way, simply because this information will allow us to install everything that we need in the right place and give you all the details. And if you want to reset your password in the future and all that stuff, you can do it as well. And then it says complete order, but it's free because subdomains are free, right? For you, so you can go in and create that, and then after that it's going to say order confirmation, blah blah blah, thank you for your order, and then it's going to email you all the details. Okay, so The details are emailed to you on the login, the password, and all that stuff. So you see that admin name, admin password, because admin password was the one you would have created earlier on in these steps in the flow. And then once you do that, you're going to log into your WordPress dashboard, because the deployment is done in like what, 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that. Sometimes 30 minutes, 1 hour. If it's subdomain, it's super fast, like minutes. If it's your own domain name, it takes propagation and so on. So I'll leave it about up to 24 hours if it's your own domain name. And then the website is loaded like this. To make any changes, you go into the admin, WP admin of that domain name or that subdomain name, and then you go in there into every element here, and then you can have the website edited. You completely modified using our drag and drop website builder, like what you see here in this tutorial. I'm showing you this tutorial simply because that's all you really need to do to follow along and make this possible. Okay, there's nothing really complex. Okay, so you can change every element of it and so on and so forth. Okay, so pretty simplified, pretty straightforward stuff. And to go into more specifics about the domain name, I'll walk you through that as well, hopefully right now, so you can follow along with what I'm teaching you, what I'm training you, and so on and so forth. So everybody is in their same page, and everybody is also in the right right panel here, right? So the main thing that I wanted to show you in regards to the actual builder itself, okay, because we included a drag and drop website builder with all kinds of components and so on as well for this, so that you can edit it. It's not just about a question of like, hey, I have a website set up, like what do I do next kind of thing. It's more like, hey, you did have a website set up, now what next, right? So let me show you. So this is one of my accounts. So this is the admin. So I'll just log in. I'll show you what happens. Okay, so you folks can see it in real time. So again, this is our web hosting. We're handling the web hosting and so on for that unlimited one. If it is not, you got to go back it up in another server of yours, right? You go to pages. We automatically install all the pages here, right? About us, contact us, and all that stuff. So you're just going to the home page. Let's say you just click on this one button, and to the bottom right, you click on that, and you're going to land on a page that looks something like this. Okay, so every element here is editable. Okay, so for example, create amazing doodle videos. You can say create incredible, right, or whatever, incredible doodle videos, right, and so on and so forth. And you can change every element. You can move things around, right? For example, if I want to move this element here, I can do that. I can move this element here, here, here. You get the idea, right? Every element is editable and movable and so on. We coded it in such a way that it makes it possible. Okay, so for example, I want to move this guy right here. I can move this guy right here, like so. You see that, how I've done it? So you can do all this stuff. Okay, you can move around things to your heart's desire, and you can change things around. You can delete elements. You see that, how easy it is, right? So that's the builder that's included as well, again, for you folks who are got the unlimited license as well. So again, all the elements are here, pretty easy to change around, move things around, and all that stuff. So now where the PayPal integration comes into play, that's what I kind of want to talk about. So here you see this get instant access to Doodle Maker here. So this is where you see that link option here, right? Let's go to link option here. So here is where you would put your PayPal buy link or link option or whatever to make people buy from you and send them over to that page. Okay, now I know some of you were asking me like, how do I do that part properly? Can you explain to me? I'll do that right now in just a second, but it's very easy actually. You can even Google this part and you'll see tons and tons of tutorials on it. But this is the link, okay? This right here. Okay, this is where you would put that link in to send that over to your buy button, and very easy to do it. Like, I mean, even I use PayPal tutorials all the time, like to do this process. But to make your life easy, like, let me actually do it right now. Hopefully I can show you how easy it is to do this process, hopefully. So it's a very, very easy process actually. So anybody can really do it. And all you need to do, okay, and I'll walk you through the process right now, step by step, so you folks can actually follow along with me and do it as well. You can use it in your PayPal Premier account, business account, anything like that. I believe to accept payments in PayPal, you gotta do a special setup for the business setup section. But other than that, it should be pretty much easy, straightforward. Okay. So let's see here. Let me walk you through the setup here. All right. So first of all, let's see here. So I'm in my PayPal account, okay? So let's see what we can do here. So let's just go to Google and type in, right, how to create a PayPal button. So I'll show you how you can do it and how I would do it. I don't consider myself a genius in this stuff. PayPal buy now button, okay? So you see that. Then it's gonna do buy now button, pop up online payment buttons, right? So simple stuff. So how do you add a payment button to my website? See? So all of these are fine. You can use any one of this, okay? So if you say online PayPal buttons, right? Okay, this one doesn't work. Let's see first one. All right, let's see here. How do we do it? Okay, so you see this, it says button features, you can customize the products and so on. It says create your button now. Okay, that was the first link that came in. It said how to create a PayPal button. And you see how it says here, so you got to be logged into your PayPal account, and then you would have to click on this button, right? Create your button now. So let me click on that button right now. And let's see, it's gonna load up a second here to go to that page, I guess. All right, perfect. So now it's in that page for me. So you all can see this part. So now you see the PayPal buttons are an easy way to accept payments. Check the PayPal standard overview for more information. Use this to customize your button, create the HTML you'll need to copy paste into your website. Okay. So now here is the buy now button, right? And there's also a bunch of saved buy now buttons as well. So here is where I put the name. So let's say white label. Sorry, white label. Let's say whiteboard video creation or something. Right? You can put an item number, it's optional. Let's just put a price. Let's say I put price $97, right? And then you see drop down menu with price option, add drop down menu. There's a whole bunch of examples, add text field and so on and so forth. Add shipping. Well, there's no shipping for this one, right? And then tax, leave that blank here for the time being. And then you have merchant account IDs. What do you want to use? I'll just use my primary. And then track inventory. Well, you don't have to, because this is a digital product. Customize the features right here. Here, okay, customize checkout pages, right? Do you want to let your customer change order quantities? No, I don't want that. Let them buy one. Can your customer add special instructions? Well, this one I don't prefer because it kind of wastes a lot of time on the checkout process. Do you need your customer shipping address? Not needed because it's a digital product. Remember, digital product does not need. Take a customer to this URL when they cancel their checkout. Take a customer to this URL when they finish checkout. So this one, in my opinion, should not be touched if you're getting started. Later on, okay, once you start getting hundreds and hundreds of sales is when you do this process. The reason why I say that is because PayPal automatically has a setup process. They have a beautiful looking checkout process and so on. So it's very easy for you to kind of go through this process in your own way. And then add advanced variables. Well, I'm just going to leave it blank and then click create button. That's it. That's all it really is. You click create button, it's going to give you a code. Okay, and I'll show you how that code looks like in just a second. And you can either link it or you can even go in and actually grab that code as well. It's up to you. You have multiple choices. You can do whatever you want with it, you know, that you feel you desire or whatever. Okay, so basically once you've created that, you know, the button, it's going to ask you to go to this page, okay, and it's going to look something like this. Okay, let me walk you through this so that the folks who are kind of new to this kind of get that overview, if you will. So how this works is, you see how it says website. Okay, this is the code you can paste. Okay, this is the code. It's going to have that buy now button show up like so. Okay, or okay, that's one. So meaning you just copy paste this code into the website, into that particular section that I showed you earlier on, right? So if you go back to my actual website builder, that section, you see that right here, the section that we have right here. So we go back here, we can go in and we can actually add our own code. Okay, you see style here, we go down, go down, go down, go down. Okay, yes, you can change all these elements here and so on and so forth. Go to advanced. Okay, here you see the HTML element. Okay, right here you see div tags and so on and so forth. Here is where you can paste your HTML. Alternatively, I could go in and I can delete this element and I can add in any HTML code of my desire as well within WordPress. Super easy to do, right? How you do it? Well, you go into this plus icon right now in the top right, and then you go in and here's like a whole bunch of stuff, as you can see here, all these sliders and so on and so forth. What I want you to pay attention to is this HTML tab. You see this HTML? So you can drag and drop this anywhere. I'll just do it where the button is. I'll drag and drop it here. So now it's asking me to paste it. So here's where I'll paste, okay? I'll paste the HTML code, right? This code right here you saw, you see this? And then we go to advanced and we can center this, right? Let's see here if we can see that part. Let's see, we can center this. I think we can do it afterwards as well. Let's see. All right. So yeah, so you see this button is right here, right? So now we can change the columns, how they appear, how they will appear, and so on and so forth. Like for example, I can go back and I can change exactly where I want it to be shown and so on and so forth, okay? So meaning this button, I wanted to make sure that I want to be a little bit higher, I want to center it, I want to remove it. All those options are available as well throughout the process. So this is one option. This is kind of like the old school way of doing it. It's okay too, to be honest. I mean, you can change this margins, you can change it where you want it to appear, all that stuff. That's kind of like the old school way of doing it. What I like, okay, and this is kind of my way of doing it. I mean, everybody has different choices. You guys can do it how you feel like doing it, right? Obviously. So what I like to do is I like to get the button link, okay? And this is important. I like to get the button link because then that will allow me to basically convert, okay? Convert those people into however I want to do. So let me explain what I mean by that so you folks can follow along with what I'm showing you right now and literally, you know, get up and running right away. Okay, so basically what I like to do, and this is important, okay, follow along with me. What I like to do is always, I like to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I get the button code, but get the button link, okay? I know I'm kind of confusing you here, but let me show you what I mean by that. Let's go through the actual setup here one more time. So let's go back to PayPal one more time. You see this right here. You see that email section right here? Click on that. You see this, how it's shown me this link, okay? This link, right click, copy this link. So this is the buy now link, okay? Much more easier. I love this because, you know, it works perfectly with my setup. I don't have to do any mumbo jumbo stuff, editing stuff, and so on. I just go into any one of these buttons, right? Let's go to this. There's this instant access button. Let's go to this one. I go in and you see this hyperlink element here. Go to general and you see this link, right? You see this link, right click and copy and paste this link, okay? Simple, easy, right? You can have it open up in a new window. You can have it open up however you want. Click save, boom, done. Much more easier, right? I wanted to show you the code thing because some people might want to prefer that, but this is more easier. I like to do it this way, especially since the button looks so beautiful. So now it's done. That's it. So when people visit this page, they click on this button, it's going to automatically go into the PayPal's checkout page, and then you're good to go. Okay. So now let's go back here. Pretty clear so far, right? So we've gone and let's put a checkbox here, okay? So everything clear so far, what we covered? Again, as I said, you're gonna have a replay, so you can check this later on. But let me know in the chat box if you're clear so far with the second part of the equation as well, how that button works, how this works, and so on and so forth, okay? So just to summarize so far, we got the sub accounts created, we went into the account and we created our sub accounts, how many ever we want. But before we do that, obviously we want to get payments done. So what we do is go to Google and type in how to create a PayPal button. It's going to say create a button, the first link that comes in. And then we set up a price, we put the name on it and so on. And then obviously it creates it. And then what I do is instead of actually copy pasting the code, I go into the email part of the PayPal button situation because then that allows me to just get that link. Okay, this link is where people can go and click an order and so on. And then you'll automatically get notifications and so on. So that is what we did until this point. And we also talked about how to deploy that website and all that stuff. And in case you're wondering, and this is another good question, I think somebody was asking this question is, well, all these instructions are there, right? For me, I mean, I don't have to watch this all over again, am I? Yeah, of course. So all the pages, all the information, right? All that stuff is automatically included as well into the equation. So let me explain what I mean by that so I can show you these things. Okay, so for example, if you're a 50 account user, or if you're, for example, the unlimited account user, I'll show you how the pages look like for you folks. Okay, so that you can see all the stuff included within the equation, so that you can you're guided through the process. So just give me a second here. I'll open it up, and then you folks can pretty much go through this process yourself. Okay, so all right. So first of all, let me open this up right here so I can show you. All right, okay. So this one is the 50 user account page, and of course all the details are right below. You see this, how to set up your site, how to install it, how to back it up. You see all that information right here. And I'll cover this bonus by the video agency business package. Everybody gets access to it, but I'll just cover that in just a second. But you see that, right? So there's instructions on how to install it in your own server, backup files for another WordPress installation. And there's also instructions on tutorials. The white label tutorials are also not branded. So the tutorials that your audiences see will not see any Doodle Maker logo or anything like that. And then, you know, obviously you see this, right? We have a bonus training as well. I'll talk about that in just a second. So this is for the 50 user account, and then for the unlimited account, obviously this is the page. So it's slightly different process, right? Obviously. So the process where it varies is not only you get unlimited accounts, but the big difference is the website setup part, because we are hosting the websites, we are doing all the work here behind the scenes and so on, right? So that's the major difference. So instead of you having to do it manually, everything is automated. That's the other benefit you have as well. We manage the hosting, the SSL certificates, the upkeeping, the uptime, downtime, all that mumbo jumbo stuff we handle for you, okay? So nothing needs to be done on your end at all, okay? So now, the next thing, okay, that I wanted to talk about, okay, which is really, really cool and powerful, is how do you get up and running as quickly as possible, right? I generally recommend using the subdomain option to get up and running as quickly as possible, get your first few sales, and then you can buy a domain, make it more professional looking and all that stuff, because it speeds up the process, right, of implementation. All right, so now, we covered the account creation, we covered the website part of the equation, which is super easy. You just click one button. If you're the unlimited user, click one button, go there, fill up a bunch of stuff like your details, your email, password, admin details, and then it creates the whole thing for you in a few minutes, and then you go in, log in, and you're good to go, right? Now, the other element now is we have a website, we have these accounts, we have the software. Where do we get the traffic, right? So now that's what I want to cover here, okay? And so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to ask, first of all, before I get to that part, Yash, you there right now? Ping me if you're online here, right? Okay, so because I'm going to bring him into the loop in just a second, okay? Because he's going to be doing some training stuff as well. All right. Yeah. Yes. So Yash, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just explain a couple of things, and I'm going to bring it back to you so you can summarize some things as well in this process. Okay. So first of all, guys, when it comes to traffic generation, nobody's better than Yash in our team, and he's talking right now. I'm going to pass it on to him to summarize a few things. But here, what we've done is there are two different components to traffic. Okay. I'm going to put it in two different colors so you folks can see it clearly. Okay. The first component to traffic is free traffic, obviously, right? Free. Free is good, so we want free. And then the second component obviously is paid. Okay, we'll put paid. So paid traffic, and then we have free traffic, right? So obviously each have their own benefits and so on, but to get started, we want to do free traffic. So what we figured out is a way where you can get listed. So let's say you're selling Doodle Maker or Doodle video creation services, both work really well, right? And you want to get it listed on top of Google for local keywords in your locality. Let's say you're from Phoenix, Arizona, you want to be there. You're from Auckland, New Zealand, you want to be there, and so on and so forth. You can do that. So what we did, if you go into right now, okay, this is again for you folks. Very easy, very straightforward. Everything is automated. That's why I like these kind of trainings, because I can show you real time. So if you go right now into your Doodle Maker account and you go into this access section right here, you see this access button. You click on this access button for the the white label enterprise upgrade. You see this one, or even this one on the top, right? If you have that account access, whatever it is. So if you do whatever it is that you do, then immediately you're gonna land on that page that I just showed you, right? Just a minute ago or so. So when you land on that page, right? When you land on that page, it's gonna show you a specific tutorial. Let me walk you through that as well. In the bottom, okay, the bonus training is what it shows you, okay? So here, it's a very big, like an hour worth of training and so on, but don't get that to fool you. It's actually very powerful, and I recommend you to go through it fully. So here, I walk you through the process of building your brand, having top rankings on Google, and more importantly, doing something important. And that is, okay, very important, Google My Business. Okay, we use Google My Business to get top rankings and so on and so forth. And so when I am going to show you this, just pay close attention to this process, okay? Because this is what we covered in that tutorial, okay? That training as well and so on. That's exactly what we talked about. The whole thing is basically this, okay, that we talked about, which is how you use Google My Business to get top rankings for local keywords, and more important than that, okay, you actually do it in such a way that Google will keep sending you traffic for free for a long time to come. Okay, pretty fair enough, right? So that's exactly what I wanted to show you right now. Okay, let's do that. So you can see my screen right now, right? So this is from our customers that we showed this to, and they're doing great. I'm very proud of what they have achieved and so on. So this is how it works. Okay, so you see how we have these Google reviews here, and yeah, you can put appointment booking and all that stuff for an agency of your own and so on and so forth. But the key thing that I want you to focus on specifically is if you scroll down, you see this how it says here to my right. You see that I zoomed my screen a little bit, so obviously this is not how people see it. This is how they'll probably see it. So you see how they have these products here. You see this product section here. This is how you can get your website, product, and so on listed. What I recommend is go to your locality. It works best for your locality. I don't want you to go generic and go crazy. So if you type in local video marketing and you're from Florida or on that region where this business is located, okay, you're gonna get rankings there. Simple as that. And that could be thousands and thousands of visitors every month, right? If I click on White Label Designer, you see this Learn More button right here. This is a key thing that I want to talk about. Learn More. Okay, you see that Learn More button. So this button means you can send this to your white label website that I just showed you. Okay, this will be your Doodle Maker website that we are giving you. So this is where you go send it to them when they come. You see the pricing is there and so on. You can change this to 97 bucks or whatever you want. You can change this image to whatever you want, and basically you're getting free traffic from Google this way. Okay, so this is the method that we are recommending you to do to start off with, because it's free traffic from Google that you're going to get for a long time to come. Of course, there are paid traffic methods as well. We're always covering Facebook advertising. You're talking about so many other elements and so on all the time. It's not like we're not talking about it, but if you want to get started, you're on a budget, you want to get up and running quickly, well, this is the best method to be able to do so. Okay, now to make this work, okay, and this is the key thing, I need you to watch that video fully. Okay, that video which yeah, I showed you, it's like an hour long or something. So it'll give you an entire overview of how to do this whole process, what we need from you, and so on and so forth. It has 3 components for this, and Yash, I think you can kind of help me out with this one, how each of them works as well, because you're going to be administering this and so on. So how this works, okay, I'm going to create a whiteboard here, and Yash, you can explain each element of this, and folks who are here can also understand. So the first component is you got to create a Google My Business listing, right? Google My Business listing. Okay, so now we have that mentioned in the tutorials. What do they need to set up this Google My listing? So Google My Business listing, is that tutorial that you have on that page that I just showed them cover everything they need, or there anything else that they need to do in the Google My Business listing?
On that tutorial, basically I covered everything step by step, like like literally what you need to do, like to get up and running, right? But again, I'm going to repeat it once again just for the folks, for the clarity, is you need to Google My Business. The 3 things that you need is key important, right? Which is like the business name, and then I mentioned like what's the strategy to have that business name is to have your like your keywords into that, like how Brenda has like local video marketing, so that's a keyword into the business name that helps the ranking. So that business name, the address they ask for, and the website. So these are the 3 things that you need to have before
Okay, so can you repeat that again? So the folks, let's write it down here so I can make a note for them. Okay, what do we need? First thing.
Yeah, the business name.
Okay, let's say
for example, it will be Whiteboard Video Creator, for example. All right. Yeah, they need a website. Yeah,
okay, they need a website, which we are giving them, obviously, so that makes their life easier. So second thing then they need is a website. Okay.
Yeah, and this is just fundamental part. It's not a ranking. We share. We're gonna share ranking strategies as well. The fundamental business name, website, and address. They want to rank where, like
address. Okay. And now, folks, this can be your own address. It doesn't have to be a business address or anything, or it can be a postal address and PO box and so on. If it is going to be a PO box, we recommend getting a something that would be good, that you actually monitor, maybe like a UPS one or whatever that you monitor, because Google is particular about this as well. It has to be the locality that you're targeting and that you live in. Okay, that's another thing Google cares about. So these are the 3 components. Okay, now I got the Google My Business listing. What's the next step for me to do? So let's make it simple for our folks here. So that's the step number 1. So what would be step number 2 here?
Yeah, so the step number 2 is basically verifying it. Verification is so important. Like that's this full-on step. Verification means claiming your Google My Business listing. What happens is basically when you put your number there, right? There are 1 or 2 ways. Like number 1, either if like it happens 50-50. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen with you, but it happens 50-50, right? So 50% of the time they're gonna ask you for your phone number, okay? So they're gonna ask you for the phone number to send you a code to verify, to claim you as a business on Google, because only claim listing are very, to have other features. So that's the first thing, right? The 50% of the time, either they ask you to put the like a phone number in there, then they will send you a code to verify it, or 50% of the time what happens, they ask you for the address, a physical address to add in there, where they send you the physical code on a postal code, right, on a paper, which you need to add. So verification is the second step.
So verification is the second step now. So that's pretty straightforward, then nothing really to cover more in depth
Yeah,
on that one.
pretty straight.
So
Yeah.
that's that. So now next step. What's the next step that I need to do?
Yeah, the next step is super simple. Like anyways, we're gonna cover it in our I'm gonna be giving them a checklist as well. But yeah, the next step is getting reviews. All right,
Okay.
getting reviews and getting your products there. Getting reviews. Yep, getting reviews. Getting your products up there, like your product image and
Product
their
listing,
name
yeah.
and everything, and you should be good to go. That's it.
Okay, cool. So
And other
basically
thing, there are
we're
some
getting
nitty-gritty
reviews and
stuff
getting
in
our
there.
products listed as the third step. Okay, now let's go in depth on this one, because see, not everybody can get reviews, right? Obviously, not everybody knows somebody who can send them reviews and so on. What's the solution that we have for our folks who are white label users and
Yeah,
our premium members?
that's
What can we do?
that's where the magic comes into. So that's where we introduce our young Yoda group, right? So can you show them? Like, can you open it?
Yeah. Let me actually go in here and say, yeah.
And search the Brenda's post.
Yeah, I will actually do that. Just give me 1 second here. So this is, just to summarize, folks, this is a special group that we've created with our community of people, like-minded entrepreneurs, very good people, just like you, good-hearted people. What they are doing specifically, and this is important, okay, is we specifically are, this is important again, going to be creating reviews for you to help each other out. Okay, so Yash, post the link to that group in, well, let me actually post it myself. Actually, I'll post a link to that group, folks, so you got to join that. Okay, it's important. And then Yash is going to give you the instructions on how that
It's amazing group.
works,
Yeah.
and what we need you to do to make it possible and all that stuff. Okay, so I'm posting the link in the chat box, but anyway, in the replay, you're going to see this link right below the actual the video of the replay. So anyway, so it's going to look something like this. Okay, you guys see our screen, right? So you're going to be applying to join this. Okay, the requirement here is that you help everybody out. Okay, so where was that group with Dennis?
You search for Brenda. There's a search bar, like there's a search
Right
thing on
here.
the top right.
Right. So yeah. So this is how, right? Basically, they had 128 comments and so on. So this is good people, good-hearted people. They posted their business here, and a lot of people gave them reviews. Okay, so that's the condition that we have, is to help everybody out, give reviews, maybe if they
So
need some
imagine,
feedback or comments or whatever it
yeah,
is. And this is a private thing. We're not going to give it to anybody, only our most people. And periodically, we keep removing people who are not going to be active and helping everybody out, right? So that's how you get the reviews for the Google My Business thing. Okay, very important. You need at least 10 reviews to be able to be listed like this, like how I showed you here, local video marketing. You need at least 10 to make it possible, and we're going to help you do that. There's a process that we want you to do and so on, and then we'll help you do that. Okay, so that is the reviews. Once you get the reviews, you can get your products listed. So it's like a chicken and an egg thing. A lot of times people are like, who is going to give me the reviews? I don't know. I'm a new business. How am I going to get these reviews and so on? So that's why we solved that part for you. Now, what we recommend is minimum of 10 is okay. You're providing value to the marketplace, and if you're giving something of value, then obviously it should not be a problem. And it's a very straightforward process after that, right? And you can even ask your friends, your family, and so on to do reviews for you as well if you wish, whatever it is, right? Or your own customers. If you have your own customers as well, you can get that as well. And after you get 10 reviews, that's the secret, okay? 10 reviews is what you need. And then after that, you should be good with Google My Business. So again, as I said, you can get family, you could have friends, you can have our own group there. You can have your own customers if you have your own business, right? Let's say you're a real estate agent, you're a realtor or whoever, or you're in the sales business or whatever, you have a bunch of customers, you can have them review you as well, okay? It can be your own personal brand or even a business as well. It's up to you what you decide to make it. It's up to you at the end of the day, right? Because Google My Business means that you claim that listing in that location and your locality, and you can go from there, okay? Very straightforward stuff. So that is it. We left the link in the chat box as well, so you can join it and so on. So Yash, what do they need to do to ensure that they get the most value from that group? Because we don't want people just joining in and like, oh, I need these reviews here, reviews there. We want to get to know people joining in there as well to get the most value, right? So what are a couple of things that they can do?
Yeah, can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's change. All right, so yeah, and folks can see my screen here, right? So I'm gonna share, like, there's a one simple step you gotta do, right, as soon as you join the group, right? And this is, and why I'm telling you to do this, and sometimes people are like, I don't know, or I don't know how it works and everything. By the way, let me share my face with you so that you can see, and because that's related to that. All right, and yeah, you can see me, folks, right? All right, I'm visible. Yeah, so basically the thing is, what's the one thing you gotta do and you'll be up and running, and it's pretty simple to do, which is, I'm gonna approve all these people, I'm gonna approve all your posts, but what you gotta do, this group works on both sides, from both sides. Basically, this group is gonna, like, have the people who are here to help you, but the thing is, you gotta help other people as well, right? That means how it's gonna work, like, there are other members like you gonna ask for, like basically this group is generally for, asking, like, check this out, John, on 3rd September, hey everybody, will you please show me some love and like my Facebook page, appreciate your help. That's it. You gotta just simply like it, and in the comments, just make sure done, just type done, and that's it. Like, in the comments, you can just simply, like, type I like this page. Let's say I click on follow, and I click on like, okay, I completed my like, and I'm done, right? So I'm gonna just go to comment, I'm gonna click on comments here, and I'm gonna click on done. That's it. Just so that he knows that I did it, so that when your time comes, that I'm gonna say done. All right, I'm gonna say done. That's it, right? So basically it's gonna be like, and gonna be other people as well. So basically it's like a 5 minute of your day stuff, but it's gonna really help you, because all those people, all those 100 and 200 and 300 people are gonna help you when your time is gonna come, right? When you ask for a review, when you ask for a help, when you ask for, by the way, this is not a support group, right? And a few people have the support group. This is not a support. We have like a special team support thing, right? This group is more for you asking for help, means reviews, like generally Google My Business review. I highly recommend you to leverage it for Google reviews, or for example voting, or for example soon I'm going to share a checklist to rank your Google My Business listing on top of Google for your target keyword. So on that checklist I mentioned, okay, here you can leverage that group, so there you're gonna leverage that group, right? So that's how it works. And now how it's gonna work and how you're gonna ask for the help, I'm gonna quickly show you. All right, and I'm gonna prove everyone who asked for. By the way, make sure you join the group. For the folks who are here watching us live right now, or who are gonna watch the replay, please make sure you watch the basically please make sure you join the group. And how it's gonna work is like how it's gonna work, just so that you're clear, you gotta make a post. All right, you gotta make a post about, like, hey, like what Brenda did. Check this out. Hey, if you can please give us reviews for our Google My Business page, she listed here. All right, it would be greatly appreciated. Important. If you see that there are many reviews, please wait another day to post yours. And thank you so much for your understand. But if you get too many reviews, Google will think it's spam, right? So that's why people slowly giving her reviews. And now she has, like, I think more than 50 reviews there, all from the group. That's why she's ranked. That's why she is kind of number one on the target keyword in her locality or for that keyword. So imagine your business, right? So the few rule that you gotta do is like, that's it. Like few number one rule is you gotta help other people in order to. So if we see that there's no inactivity from you, like so like and like inactive, like me, you're not helping other people. Like we see like 25 more comments, like Rick Fron has been helping other people, so we're not gonna remove him. Glenn Warren, Andrew, Edwin, Darko, Spiro, like these. So make sure once you did something for them, like what they asked for, you put in the comment, I did it, or I did, or I completed, or it's done, or I did it, or finished, or completed, or something like that, so they know and we know that you're actively helping other people, and we allow it, right? So that's how it's gonna work. And now for your help, what you gotta do, as soon as I'm gonna approve you, right, I want you, and I have seen, and this is a bonus, and I have seen great success, and I'll show you, like in our video section, I'll show you. I've seen amazing success of people who, as soon as, like, check this out, so like members, right? I've seen great success for the members who joined the group and they went live. You can do it right now, or you can do it as soon as we end this session, right? How to do it, I'm going to show you. But what it does really, like, it's people like you. First of all, it's a connection. It's connection. You know that who you're helping. You're not helping a robot. You're helping a human. You're helping a real human, right? Well, just on top of it, it's gonna see, okay, I'm helping William, I'm helping Derek, I'm helping Donovan, I'm helping Charlie. You get to know people by look at this guy. I'm there, right? I also went live, right? And you gotta know people, so it's not, I'll say, it's not just a group to help you, it's everything to help you. It's like, if you feel like you're on a lonely land of entrepreneur where nobody believes in you, and where like you don't get any support from your peers, then this is where you get the community to help you, to support you every single time. So just make sure it's not a group just for the help. People are gonna help. People are gonna help you to get the comment, the reviews, and the likes. It's a community of people who really care about you, right? And this is what we said. All these people have seen greater. So the reason, like, there are, I think, more than 600 people, right? But the people who went live, look at me, I went live, and everybody went live. I've seen great success. I've seen they implementing more. Like I know everyone by name.
Just to bring it to summarize, folks, we need you folks to go live if you can, please, just so we get to know a little bit about you. We can put a face to the name, so to speak. It will also allow us to get to know you better. And people who go live, generally, we've seen get better results. So it's almost like psychologically, you're in a better, the average is on your side, so to speak, right? You get an edge here.
Yeah.
So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, and we get to know people, right? I can say, and I can know everybody by name, like Chris, Daryl, like like I know Raj, Jules, Len, and I know everybody by their face, by their name, and Shana, and San, and all that. So that's what I recommend. So I'm gonna approve everyone now. Like how to go live, Yash? I'm gonna show my. Can I stop sharing my screen and show my face only? I think I can do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. All right. I think I'm only visible, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm only visible. All right, folks. Yeah. So what you gotta do is simply you come here. I'm gonna approve you right now. I got requests. So I'm gonna approve everyone. What I want you to do is, as soon as I approve you, here's your phone, right? Here's my phone. What you gotta do, simply, can you see this live option here? Like simple, like here's a Young Yoda family group, and you see this live option there, like here, like live, like check this out, like oops, yeah, this live. So just click on that. It's gonna open up. It's gonna open up this, like this thing. I'm here. All right, guys. Hi, hey. It's gonna say, oops, it's gonna say start live video, and that's it. Like you click on start live video, and your video is live, and you can just simply do like this. Hey guys, I'm Yash. Like, hey, I'm looking forward for your help, and I live in this, and blah blah blah. Just simple stuff, right? About you, where you are from, and which business you're in, and what you're looking forward for. You're excited, right? So I'm gonna approve you all of you right now. You can go live right now. Just mute me, and you can go live and just share about you, like just simple, like 3 things. What's your name, where are you from, and why are you excited to be in this group, right? That's it. 3 simple steps, and you can just simply go to the Young Yoda group as soon as you go live. Click on live, and hey, people are gonna see, like, all right, so you see, click start live video. That's it. Introduce, answer these. What's your name, where are you from, and why you're excited to join this group, right? Why you're excited. So I'm gonna approve all of you, and I'm gonna and then once you did that, and I'm gonna show you the thing to how you can ask for the review. All right, guys. So I'm going to share my screen with y'all. All right, so you can see my screen. I'm gonna approve everyone. I'm gonna do a quick setting so that everybody can make a post there and everybody can go live. But yeah, so let me approve everyone. All right, so all of you who asked for us in the group, we're more than, we have a good number of people. I'm gonna approve you right now. All right, all of you are in the group right now. Just refresh this group and go live. All right, refresh this group and go live. All of you are in the group right now who
Right.
asked for it,
And
right?
another thing is, in case it's late at where you are around the world or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can do it when you wake up later on as well. It's like we're not forcing you to do it right away.
Yeah,
But
right.
if you are available, it's something that you want to do for like a couple of minutes, not like a long time. You can do it as well. See, we have somebody here already. Awesome. You have Donald here. Awesome, Don. See, good to see you here. So some of you already went live, so it's great. But
Yeah,
we're
it's
in a live
great.
webinar, so
Yeah.
it might not be the best idea for everybody to go live because it's gonna be like echoing and so on. So yeah, you guys can go ahead, and Yash is gonna handle that over the next couple of hours for you and so on. So that is how you do it. So now, Yash, what's the process for posting? Like, let's say they went
Yeah.
live and so on. What's the next step?
All right. So when you go live, that's it. You go live, you just finish your live and see. All right, there we go. Brian and everybody's live here. All right. That's good. I love it. I love that. Yeah. So now once you're live and everything, I'm gonna quickly approve all of your live so that everybody can see it, right? But yeah, so once so basically here's the process like looks like. I'm gonna just quickly show you. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yep. So the process is very simple. You come here, you went live, people now connected with you, everybody knows you, and like everybody knows you, you know other people. What you gotta do, simply write something here, click on write something, and then you gotta just do it from your desktop. Okay, please do it from your desktop. That's a better thing. All right. So now what you gotta do, hey guys, hey guys, I'm new here. I'm super excited, and I would be greatly, it would be great if you go click here and leave a review. And if you want to mention like please include let's say local video marketing in your review. Like that's a hack. Okay, I'm gonna showing all these hacks to rank you. It's a hack if you have your target keyword into your review. That's a awesome hack, right? And then you put your review or your local business Google My Business listing here. You put the link here, and I highly recommend you do it from your desktop because it's a really good feel and all that. Now the last thing you need to do is add to post topic. All right, you see add to post topic, right? Just click on select a, you see the select a post to describe this post. Just click on it and you're gonna see something very cool, which is let's make it big together. Click on that and then post it. All right, that's pretty much it. You're gonna see comments starting in, reviews started coming in, and then you're gonna love it and you'll be blown away with the response that you're gonna get from it, right? So that's what I recommend. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And I mean, so hey guys, I'm here. It would be great. And like just make sure that you post it, right? You post for like you can ask for reviews, likes, or share. Just make sure what you ask for, you have a clear instruction in there. All right. I mean, like I asked for, hey guys, it would be great if you click here and leave the review. Please include local video marketing in your review, for example. Or maybe you could type here, you can come here, right? And like Timothy asked, like I joined the group. Now what? All right, that's what I'm explaining here, right? So yeah, so you make a push. You first of all make your Google My Business listing, and this group is not for Google My Business reviews only, right? It's good for Google My Business reviews, Facebook page likes, YouTube review, YouTube views, and all sorts of things that you ask for a help, right? Like you're asking for your help for your team member, for your family members, like, right? And just make sure you have the clear instruction into there, right? And just post it, right? And not just asking for the help, be active too. Because if you're not active, then the odds are other people are gonna help you is very less. All right, and everybody's gonna help you anyways, and everybody's gonna help you. But it's good that you help. Like I'm gonna go to this let's make it big. I'm gonna show you, right? Like It's take like 5 minutes, like it takes like 5 minutes to go over through all the requests to like 10 seconds or 20 seconds to like. For example, I'm gonna just, why this always comes here, yeah, for example, all right, check this out. Hey all, I'm Raymond here. I know Raymond, I got on a call with Raymond. I have a small business manufacturing and selling in plant protein powders. I launched just prior to Xmas 2019. Of course, I would greatly appreciate your support with likes, follows, and website reviews. If you have the time, website reviews at gfactor.com. Please let me know what you think about functionality and design. That's it. He mentioned everything, and guess what? 125 comments. Whoop, like, Gary Holt. So basically, what's gonna happen? Like, see, done, done, done. I did it. I did. Done. I did it, and all that. So basically, what's gonna happen? You are in a list. You are in a list that you are helping other people as well. Because if you see inactivity from you for a long time, like for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, like nobody is like like not like active, not actively supporting, like actually commenting, or like just like helping the people, then we keep removing inactive members as well, just so that this group is active, super engaged, and the people who are open to help and who are ready to get help, right? That's it from me, Paul.
Awesome. All right, so let me change the screen over to myself for real quick.
Yeah.
And show a couple of things to round off this call today.
Yeah.
So let me see here. All right. Well, I have your webcam here. All right, so what I wanted to show you folks here real quick is this is the bonus training I was telling you about, okay? Can you folks all see my screen right now? So you should be seeing it. All right, so you see this bonus training, how to get traffic. So this will explain the process that he was telling you about, getting the product listed. You see all these things which I was telling you about, business name, website, blah, blah, blah. These 3 steps to get that Google My Business. This tutorial in your Doodle Maker white label tutorials page, okay? And you can click on it, you can watch it, and so on and so forth. It's going to look something like this. It's going to say free traffic and client generation strategy. It's going to have this thing, and then it's going to go into in depth, like how you do it and all that mumbo jumbo stuff, right?
And this
so
one,
that.
and this one is super in depth, guys. If you just watch this session, you can literally go step by step and get your Google My Business up and running. Because in this tutorial, I literally went like from account creation to approving and everything. So yeah, I think you should watch it if you don't have a Google My Business yet.
Okay, perfect. So now let's talk about the final element here, okay? So the other thing that you're getting access to as well, you folks, is this video agency bundle stuff, right? So this video agency bundle, I kind of want to talk about this as well. So you're gonna be getting when you download it, right? Like the whole thing. So I'll show you this real quick so you can see it. Let me get this actually, the folders, so folks can see it clearly. So you're gonna get access to this stuff. You see how you got business cards, emails, ready-made emails done for you, flyers, invoices, letterheads, telemarketing scripts, PowerPoint presentations, and flyers you can easily edit. There's this invoice templates, client contract templates, and so on and so forth. You see, this is a client contract template I have here. You can change. So sometimes, clients might want specific stuff, right? Hey, what do we do next? Like I get the idea of the licenses with the software. I want 10 of them. Can you give me a client contract or a service agreement? Or, hey, could you create me whiteboard videos, doodle videos, color videos, animation videos, or explainer videos, whatever it is that you can create. And this is the client contract. So that's the bonus, right? So you're going to get all this stuff. You see, this is an invoice template, fully editable and so on. Very easy to do it, edit it to your heart's desire and so on. So you're going to get that as well in that page, okay? So you can go there and you can get that stuff right away. Now, finally, okay, and this is the last thing that I kind of wanted to bring across here as well. It's the summary of bringing this all together. And I kind of want to bring one last thing to your attention as well, okay? So this is what I want to do. If we go back here, let's go back here real quick. I think this was the one. Oh yeah, so this one, let's minimize it. Okay, so we talked about, first of all, right, the creating the sub accounts. The second one is the website, and then let's round it off with the third part of the equation, which is the traffic part, which was not written down here. So we have that, right? So we talked about free traffic. There's also paid traffic. Yash is going to be doing a lot of training on that as well. So my question then becomes, this was a great webinar. We went through so much stuff here and so on. I know you're going to watch the replay and you're going to be like, okay, that's awesome. I'll walk through some of the key elements here and so on. The last thing I kind of want to bring across though is ongoing training, right? Would you like it if we put you into our, weekly office hours training as well, and it's free. Again, they're not going to charge you any money. Type in yes in chat box if you want to do that. We're going to talk about this element here, which is the ongoing part about traffic generation. Okay, that's one of the big things that we talk about all the time. So I'll register you guys into that as well. We do it Mondays and Fridays, so it's going to be similar to this, but more in depth in terms of traffic part of the equation. Okay, the traffic element is something that I think it's an ongoing thing. Things change a lot online. It's like it's something that worked now, it might need to be tweaked again, and so it's an ongoing thing, right? So what we're thinking is I'll register you guys into that. It's Mondays and Fridays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. In case you cannot watch that live, there's also going to be replays. Now, how will that work exactly? And so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is for you guys, I'm going to probably send an email out or so on, but to make it even easier because you're live and you're ready and you're prepared and so on, this is the link that you want to go to. This is what we've been doing for a while now and so on. And this is the link that you would register, okay? So let me give you that link right now. So let's see here. All right. So this is the link, and then you can register here. It's pona.com/webinar, and you're going to register here, okay? And in there, we talk about different topics: traffic generation, e-commerce, how to buy, sell products, digital products, physical products. We talk about so many different topics, but the key idea behind it, though, is always about more personal touch, right? Personal touch and getting you that attention that you need and so on. So you land on a page that looks like this. Register for that one and keep it ready. So you see that it's Mondays and Fridays, and you have all these dates set up here and so on and so forth. So, it's ready to go, and we can keep doing it and so on. Okay. So that's one. And if you want the replays for this one, I will probably send an email out to you on how to register for the replays and set up and so on, so that they're all in one portal and so on. I'll talk about that as well, probably in the next one, once you're into that webinar. So if you are joining in, probably the next one is coming up very soon anyway. So when you join it, I think Yash is gonna help you out there and so on. What we do is I have a mentorship portal that I'm adding all this stuff, and Yash is adding all this stuff as well. So basically the idea is that you log into this, and then you basically go and you check out all the content that we post from time to time. Okay. So does everybody have access to my my mentorship portal? Type in yes in the chat box if you have access to this portal, where all this replays are posted. And no, if you don't have access to it, okay, please let me know. Okay, yes. Okay, cool. A couple of people saying no. All right, fair enough. So a few people saying no, about 30% of you are saying no. So to get access to it, all you have to do is go to this link. Okay, I'm gonna post the link here. It's pona.com/Skype, and then you can go there. Let's see here. That's pona.com/Skype. Let me paste that link here. And then on that link, there's something important that I want you to pay attention to. Let me post that first thing. It's going to go to this Google Doc. You can join our Skype group. Yeah, that's cool. The main thing is this one. You see, it's register for your daily mentorship portal. You register using this and use this invitation code, okay? Because when you go to the registration page, I'll show you to get access to the portal. Well, let me log off here, okay? So let me show you how that looks like. Oops. Let me log off here. Yeah. So if you register, let's see how that works. So you see how it says invitation code required? That's where you put this highlighted, copy this thing, right click copy, and boom, you paste that there, and you can create an account, and you'll see all the replays and all that stuff put in there. Now, the reason why we like to do that one is ongoing training is gonna, in a webinar like this one, we can cover so much, right? But maybe you need that extra help. You're doing so many things in your business, and you're stuck at maybe the finance thing, accounting thing. Maybe you're stuck at traffic generation, client generation. Maybe you're stuck, for example, if you see the components here, right? There's so many components here. I mean, they're straightforward, but maybe you're stuck somewhere. Having somebody to talk to, having somebody like Yash here, for example, he's going to be live, right? And he's going to check your questions and be able to answer it. It makes a big difference for a lot of you, right? In terms of success and so on. So that's why we are continuing that. We've been doing that for like a year and a half now, and we plan to do it for a while. So it's gonna help you out, okay? And the other thing is always you're gonna be in touch, right, with me, Yash, or somebody from our team in a regular basis. So you're not gonna be left behind, okay? And I think that's a big reason why people fail sometimes and so on, okay? So that's the major parts of the components of the webinar today. Don't want to go forever now. The last thing I want to mention though is coming back to that main point, and I'm going to answer some questions here as well for a couple of minutes while here. So please post any questions you have and so on. The last thing I want to mention is if you have not upgraded, right? If you're in that $97.50 white label accounts plan, and you want to, after seeing today what all benefits we're giving for that unlimited accounts plan with our own web hosting, we're giving you all that stuff, and also want to lock in at that special price, meaning you pay 97 bucks, but you want to get it for that 397 bucks, or you just pay 300 bucks more. We have a special link for you, like I said, right? And that's only available for this webinar. Bookmark this page, because as I said, that link is going to be gone. This is the link, doodlemaker.io/WL. It's not going to be available, forever. And again, I'm only saying this because we don't want you to message us a month from now or 3 weeks from now, because that's going to be removed. Okay, the unlimited accounts one is going to be removed, as we did promise you ahead of time. So once you do get it, okay, you're going to be logged in. And if you need any customer support stuff or anything like that, like for example, you want to email our support team or whatever after you get in, and for whatever reason, just email us at support@doodlemaker.com saying, hey, I did buy that and I want to get access to it, and so on and so forth. Okay, if there is anything related to your access details or whatever. Okay, and something like that. Whatever we discussed in the webinar today, if that's something that you had questions on and so on, just email our support team that you will see on the screen right now that I posted. Okay, now the reason why I'm giving this to you, see, main thing is it's going to be removed, the unlimited accounts, because unlimited accounts, just text to speech alone costs us thousands of dollars. Just the server costs are $10,000 a month for Doodle Maker, and just for you add up like background removal feature, that costs us for every photo that you remove backgrounds on. I can keep going on, right? The technology is themselves, but we want to do it where we had so many people email us saying, Paul, I bought it in a rush, I bought that $97 thing, can I match it where I can pay the same amount of money? Well, this is the only opportunity you're gonna get to do that. And I'm not, if you don't want to get it, it's fine. But one thing I want to mention is please don't ask us after 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I'm not gonna be able to give it to you, okay? If you are interested in it, definitely go get it. We're gonna lock you in at that price. You're getting it at that perfect price. But at the end of the day, if you are coming back 2 or 3 weeks later saying, hey, I did see that video that you were mentioning, there was something called unlimited accounts, like, can I get it? The replay is going to be edited out, by the way. That part I'm going to remove, but that's going to be gone for good. Okay, I just want to be very clear because of so many hundred different reasons. So I want to be clear. So if you want to get it, I posted the link in the chat box as well, so you can click on it and go there. But you miss out, you miss out. No hard feelings. If it's not free, it's not free, like I said. But I highly recommend you to get it if you're interested in it, okay? Because it's one of those things where once we remove it and then we cannot really add it back in because our integration in the application itself is gone, It's like our developers have to spend like a few weeks to do it, okay? So I just want to be very, very clear here. So that's the main thing. And of course, we're obviously happy to help you out with other things. So now, that being said, covered a lot of things. I know the replay is going to be up in 24 hours, so you can watch it. Now, in terms of the questions that you guys have, okay, and there's quite a few questions, so I will answer a few of them, okay? The main thing that I wanted to talk about, okay, which is quite important, okay? So in terms of the instruction, so this right here, right, the webinar is going to solve a lot of the questions that you have and so on. I'll probably also do some other stuff that I'm going to put there. The main thing is to access everything. As I said, you go to my purchases, and then under my purchases you'll see the access link, and in that access link is where you'll find everything that I spoke about today, like the for example, that special tutorial on how to get traffic, right? Then there's also something else, you're getting that business invoices and other agency business stuff, right? And then you're also getting access to, for example, the website builder, completely built with web hosting and so on, if you got the unlimited plan, which you can get access to if you don't already have it. And then if you don't, then there's that backup that I was telling you about, where you can go hire somebody on Fiverr or somebody to pay them 10 bucks, 20 bucks or whatever to set it up on your server, on your web hosting, and set up the whole thing for you. If that's the path you want to do. If you want it more automated, of course, because the web hosting costs and Google service is super expensive. We cannot handle it long term because we're offering it, unlimited access to it. So even 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, it's going to be up there. Okay, so is that clear? So that should pretty much mean as much clarity as possible. So in terms of the questions, let me answer some, like, which are coming up quite a bit. Okay. Now, the main thing that is coming up is this point, which is the customer's portfolio. How will they see it? So we've solved all that stuff. I don't want you to waste your time on figuring out how the customer's portfolio looks like, meaning their dashboard, right? How does the customer dashboard looks like? All that stuff. We've done all that work. You don't have to do anything. Once the account is created, it's gonna be clean. Okay. They're not gonna know any reference points to Doodle Maker. They're not gonna see any of that stuff. So it's pretty clear cut. And so you don't have to worry about, hey, does it include the deluxe? Does it include this? Does it include? Doesn't matter. It's simple, straightforward. We gave away all the features that are important for them and that they can use right away. Okay, simplified it. So again, I don't want to complicate it too much. You don't have to worry about all that techie mumbo jumbo stuff. You worry about, okay, I have the white label account. I can either create videos for clients. I can create sub accounts for where I can sell the application with my logo, and everything else is handled by Paul's team, for example. That's the way I want you to look at it. Okay. Now another question is, which is important, is the Doodle Maker application is a web-based application. So I want to be very clear here so you folks can understand it and make clear sense of it. So what you're getting access to is Doodle Maker white label access, right? Obviously. So when you are able to do it, it's a web-based application, so it's going to work on your client's different operating systems and so on. However, the Toon Video Maker, for example, is a desktop application that works on Windows and Mac. It's a little bit different. It's a more standalone application and so on. It's very different. Don't compare both of them. What you're getting white label is obviously the Doodle Maker application. So don't confuse yourself too much. Okay. So in regards to the price points and so on that we recommend you to sell, that's all there in the terms in the page, in the tutorial section. When you scroll down at the bottom of the terms page, you'll see all the terms and so on. Generally speaking, obviously, we don't want you to sell it less than the retail price that we are selling it for. It will be unfair for everybody else. So that's the main thing. That's the only thing that we kind of do. But there's other terms as well you can follow along just to protect the value of the application so that we can sustain it long term, right? So all the terms are right here as well. You can check it out on that page when you get the chance. Very, very clear, all the terms, so you can watch it. And we're very particular about it because the application is very high value. We spent over close to $150,000 and more than that if you add up hard work of my team and so on, which is not even something that we bill on it. It's just our developers and our server costs and so on. So a lot more than that, 200,000 plus easy. And that's why you're getting that kind of a high-end application. So obviously we're going to be sure to protect the value of the application. We're not going to allow somebody to sell it for $2 or something. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just impossible, and it's going to only devalue it for everybody else. So there are certain restrictions that we put that's to protect everybody so that everybody gets to benefit it for a long time to come. It's very clear about that. And yes, you can sell it for a monthly payment. You have flexibility there. Because there's no reference back to our application, you can price it how you want it. You can even price it $50 a month, $97 a month. You can do it $500 per one-time payment, whatever you want to do, just as long as you protect the value of it. When you're asking yourself, am I destroying the value of it? Then of course, right, that's something that we will take seriously as well, and we'll be taking action on people who are not going to value it enough. Like if somebody's selling it for like $10 and then, or somebody's giving away it for free, of course we're going to go after you, and then we're going to ban your account with impunity, right? Because you're basically destroying the value for everybody else. And I'm being very clear here. I don't care. I mean, we don't care about the money you invested in this, right? The amount of money we invested into this is hundreds of thousands of dollars. So obviously, if you put some money in, we're going to get rid of you. You can take every single penny back. I don't really care, but we are very particular about this, because we want to protect the value of the technology and so on. Okay, it's fine. I'd rather get fewer people who are excited about it and excited about the long-term potential than a few people who are going to abuse the system, thinking that they can do whatever they want and then come back and say, yeah, I paid some money, so I deserve to do all that. No, it's fine. It's okay. We don't care, because Doodle Maker is already a worldwide bestseller. We don't need a bunch of people to destroy the value for everybody else. It's simple as that. Okay, and I'm being particular about this because I know some people will try to find some loophole here, there, and so on to destroy the community and the hard work we put in. So I want to be clear, so it gets into the back of people's minds here, right? Because if people use it right, go through our training and go through our strategies and so on, you'll do really well, and extremely well, right? Because the market is already there. There's already demand for this. Okay, so all right. So in terms of the questions, a couple other things that I'm seeing as well is everything that I've mentioned as well is pretty clear, right? You guys are understood the flow of it. You'll watch the replay later on and so on, and then you will get a better understanding of it and so on and so forth, right? And yes, to answer that question, yes, we'll be updating the application because it's a web-based application. Any updates or any bugs or something that we fixed will also be applied to the white label license that you're giving to your users as well. Obviously, it's a pretty easy push from our end. It's not like they have to download an update or anything. It's all automatic, so there's nothing to really do anything beyond that. Okay, and another thing as well, which is really cool, which is powerful, that I recommend is make sure. Okay, I'm gonna add you into our twice a week training and so on. make sure that you're paying attention. Okay, see, what happens is you have limited time. You know, I get that, we all have limited time. If you can focus your attention to us, okay, and I'm not asking for a lot of your time, maybe 3 to 5 hours a week or something, okay, and it's like what, 20 minutes a day or whatever it is comes down to. If you can dedicate that much, right, on average per week, and I'm sure we can help you out, because I want you to understand, any mastermind you can think of, we are part of. Any kind of thing that we're talking about skill set wise, we already are skilled at it. I mean, I don't expect you to go buy a Facebook course for $2,000 or some e-commerce course or some video marketing course or some agency course and so on. With our training, you're covered with all that stuff, okay? And the reason why we do that is because I believe it's a question of giving back to you, right? And making sure that you get great results long term, right? If you do, great. If you don't, you know, at the end of the day, with the ongoing training that we'll keep giving you for a long time to come, it's only going to help you, you know, protect you long term, right? And it's also going to be future proof you for the long term, right? And that's something that I've always been a big believer in, for your future proofing yourself for success. Okay, now in terms of the other thing as well, okay, very you know, big question that I'm seeing as well is, can you use your own domain name? No, at this point, we're not allowing anybody to use their own domain names for the white label. We're very clear about that. There's no exceptions on that rule. The reason why that is the case is because what we've noticed is sometimes people put it in some domains which are against the terms, which might use our own copyrighted terms like Doodle Maker, or they might, you know, do some things that, you know, might spoil it for everybody else. So you can sell it on any domain you want, but the login that you're going to be sending is going to be the one I showed you, which is completely anyway branded, and you know, nobody has any reference point to Doodle Maker at all. Okay, we are very particular about it. Again, no exceptions to that one. We've seen things go wrong before, and all the stuff we are doing is to protect you. Okay, because what happens is if 5 people out of 500 people make a mess, all 500 people get impacted, right? Or 1% out of 100 people, you know, make a mess and abuse something, it destroys everybody. And then the whole point is, and we'll never probably do this again for anybody, because the effort to make something like this possible, to go the extra level, to make you, allow you to do sub accounts, giving you for a one-time payment, giving it to you for such a great deal, and giving you this training and so on, it completely makes it futile on our part to do it again, right? In fact, even for now, right? We're only doing it because when we were building Doodle Maker for over a 2-year period, we had so many people, right? Our beta testers, our customers, and someone ask us, hey, can you do this for us, right? Because you know, your technologies are best sellers worldwide, so could we take a part in that? And that's the only reason why we're doing it. I don't know if we'll ever do it again for another technology. So that's why we want to ensure that those people are serious, and also those people are in for the long haul, right? Not just for a few months, but you know, even a few years. And we're going to help you with the training, the traffic generation part. We're going to do for the customer generation part, everything that we can to ensure you're not left behind. We're going to do make that community possible of entrepreneurs and so on. What we need from you is just some time and some commitment from you, and more importantly, also the final thing which we need is some implementation from you. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, and then the other thing, okay, to answer that question about the domain name. So how this works is, you basically, when you're creating that domain name to add the PayPal button, that's where the domain can be any domain. It can be your domain, it can be some other domain name and so on, and then you can take payments on there and so on. But when you're giving access to the login information, that's going to be the generic domain that I showed you. Okay, that's how the system works, and we don't plan to change it. We're very particular about that, simply because we've seen that being abused before, where somebody would buy doodlemakers.com or doodlemaker1.com or something, and you lose control over the process, and we're very particular. There's no exceptions on that. Okay, I'm being very clear here. Okay, so that means you create a domain name, you take the orders, and then you can then send that login information that we are generating for a generic domain, which means there's no reference point to Doodle Maker or anything like that, and then you're good to go. Okay, and as I said, that link that you see right now on your screen, okay, very clear, that link is going to allow you to upgrade your $97 50 user account to the unlimited account, okay, at the same price people got in for that unlimited account setup. And that's something that we're not planning on doing ever again. That's why it's a special link, because we have to change so many other things to make it happen. That's going to be removed. We've already removed the white label account access from the launch itself. You cannot find it anywhere else. You can try it, you'll not see it in terms of the unlimited account plan, because we did promise that we're going to remove it after the launch, and we did keep our word on it. It's just a lot of effort on our part to make it possible long term. And it's just something that we did it to give back to the community and give back to our customers and so on, as a way of saying thank you. So you can get part in our technologies as well, and be a very valued white label user. Okay. Now the final thing as well that I wanted to answer, okay, which is the other thing as well as can my business own it? Yes. So for example, if the white label account access is going to work like you own the license, so your business owns it. So for example, your wife wants to use it, you can do that. Your kids, it's fine. That's not a problem at all. That's how the licensing system works. So you don't worry about it. It's going to be there for a long haul. We're not going anywhere. I've been in this business for 14 years. It's not going to go anywhere. Don't worry. Contrary to popular belief, yeah, I look younger if you've seen my photos or whatever, but I've been in this business since I was 16 years old. So I've been in this business for long. I'm not going anywhere. All right. So to simplify things, okay, any domain name of yours can be used. If you have an existing domain name, you have, for example, your own existing hosting, that's fine too. You can use our own web hosting if you already got it from somewhere else. The point is that we don't expect you to buy a domain name and all that stuff. That's up to you. What we want you to focus on is get the page up, get the buy now button up. I showed you how to do it with PayPal. You can do it with Stripe. You can do it with anything else. Once those are done, you just get the sale, and then everything else is smooth sailing thereafter. Okay, pretty easy, straightforward stuff. Nothing really complex about it. And at any point you have any suggestions for future feature requests and so on, you as a white label user will get first access, where we're going to put you on our roadmap as a priority. Okay. And another thing I was going to ask you folks, and last thing I wanted to ask you, we are coming up with a roadmap very soon, and we're thinking of putting like a voting feature. So meaning like, okay, this is the feature we're coming up with next, which one do you want to come first? Would you like something like that in the roadmap list of Doodle Maker? Please let us know so you can take part in what the priority is going to be in terms of the features, right? So I'll say, okay, these are the 10 things that we're working on over the next few months. Which one do you want us to do first? And you can vote. Like if 30 people vote something, that's obviously going to be more priority than if 5 people voted for something, right? So we're planning on that. I'm going to share that with you soon. We're just finalizing a few things, so I will probably get that over to you soon. Obviously, so that you can also participate in it. It's a long-term project for us, so we're not going anywhere. So that's going to help us out so that you can get an idea of like which ones to have first, which ones to have next, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that way, you can take a part in the development and give your feedback and so on. It's something that we're excited about as well. I'll talk about that probably in a week or 2 weeks or something like that. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. I covered most of the questions you guys had. If you have any related questions or access questions or technical questions that you could not get answered today, please make sure to email our support team. This is the email that you see on my screen, so that we can answer it and go right away. The replay will be up. I'll send you an email to everybody here registered, the replay in the next 24 hours or so. You can watch it. And also, make sure that you join our weekly webinars, office hours, a lot of your questions, and getting your business up could be up and running as well, because we talk about a lot of things, not just about video marketing, but so many other things, because a business requires everything, right? You need traffic, you need conversions, you need, for example, design, maybe you need, for example, customer reviews, maybe you might need like paid advertising, free advertising. There's so many different elements to a business, finance, maybe team building, whatever it is, we are masters in it. Okay, so we can help you out with those. Okay, that's the key thing, so you're not left behind. And people who have been with us, okay, over the last year and a half, 2 years, have seen incredible success. And the reason why I say that with confidence is because we know what we're doing. Okay, and we've mastered the art of helping you out on a personal basis. And even Yash here, he's here online, he's helping out. I mean, it's what, 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. where he's in right now. He's going the extra mile for you as well. It's because we know we can get you results. We're sure of it. The only thing is that we need some commitment from you, is that you don't lose track of things. Sometimes with the shiny object syndrome, where you see so many other cool things happen, you lose track of things, and then you move over to 100 different things, and then you lose track, and we lose you, right, in the process. And everything that we do, the trainings and everything else, is free. So the only question is, it's all up to you to come in and ask your questions, be available, right? One of the things is, this is another thing, Yash, I wanted to add as well, is a lot of times people ask, like, that guru doesn't care about me, or that person, I send their email to their support team, they don't get back to me on time, or hey, look, can you do this for me? I'm struggling or whatever. I'm saying we're available here, okay? We will get in touch with you. We're happy to get in touch with you, get to know you better on a personal basis. The question is, are you ready to dedicate that time to get that help, right? If you're not, nobody can help you, not us, not anybody else. I can give you that, right? I can vouch for that fact. But if it is something that you want us to help you out with, and you are confident that we can help you, and you feel like, okay, you know, that's the difference maker for me, having that personal attention from somebody who's doing this stuff successfully for a decade, then yeah, this is the perfect opportunity to do so. Yeah. So Yash, anything else you want to add here that you saw in the comment section and so on? Then we'll be closing this webinar.
Yeah, the main thing I add is like make sure you join the Young Yoda group and you go live there. And the last thing from me is say like I have seen and I've like took our members like I generally like people who are actively participating. I call them, right. A lot of people don't know about it, but I literally call them and like you get on a call with them one-on-one. Then I ask them, okay, yeah, this is how it works, and this is how your problem is, and okay, and we implement together. Like I show them, okay, this is what you need to do, and it's record in the history so far. Whoever I help in a member, they started getting customers in 24 hours. Like as soon as they implement the strategy, like as soon as they got my help, as soon as they figure out like, okay, here's what I'm thinking, yeah, what should I do, here's what I'm thinking, okay, just launch it, launch this website, launch this page, launch this campaign, launch this ad. In the 24 hours of period, they started getting customers. I'm telling about money. They started making money. They started getting sales. They started getting customers. So guys, it's up to you. Be active. Be active. Be active on a Facebook group and a Skype group you are in, and you get these. You get everything. You don't need anything. All of the thing you can think of, like of having a YouTube. If you're thinking about free traffic from YouTube, if you're thinking about Pinterest, we talk about that. If you're thinking about Snapchat, if you're thinking about Facebook advertising, if you're thinking about Google advertising, I cover everything step by step. People who have been there, they loved it, they implemented, they started getting results. That's it. Go in the group, join the group, make sure you go live to get results. That's it, Paul.
Awesome. Yeah, and any questions you have, right, like access details or any questions related to that, please email our support team, because I can go through like 500 comments over the last hour or so that we've been not live here. We'll be happy to assist you. The main thing that I wanted you to do, right, if you go to my purchases is where you'll see the access details. I want to be clear here. So whether you got the $97 unlimited plan or whatever, you got this unlimited thing right now, you're going to see all of that stuff in this section here. Okay, so if you got this right now, the white label thing right now, and you got the enterprise unlimited one, you'll see that access, click on that button, and that's going to take you to that link where I showed you everything that today is available. And even this replay is going to be up there, right? And even if you got this 50, if you have access to it, you can click on it and you're going to go there. So for whatever it is that you got, if you click on the access button, you're going to go to that page. So if you go to this button, you're going to see all that stuff and so on and so forth. Okay, and if you have any questions, obviously we'll help you out every step of the way. Okay, so take care, good luck. Let's make this the best year ever together. We'll do our best to make it happen. Okay, thanks again, and we will be seeing you soon.